Chris Carter and Noah Hiles, your Pitt beat reporters here from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, doing another Pitt post-game show after the Panthers get another dub. 86-59 over Louisville. Dominant performance from the Panthers. One of the more dominant wins of the season against a team they should dominate. But a historic night for Blake Hinson. We're going to break down so many elements of that. But first, I want to remind you this show is brought to you by Mike's Beer Bar, the best place to go to get 500 different available beers. 300 of those beers are local, and 80 of those local beers are available on tap. More on them later. Noah, Blake Hinson. Dang.
In the spirit of Curb Your Enthusiasm returning, I'm going to use a Larry David. Pretty good, Chris. 41 points, 4 shy of the program record. Tied his own program record for single game three-pointers, 9, which he himself said was pretty cool. I think that's a direct quote. But yeah, I mean, what an effort. And I think the thing that stands out to me about this, and it won't get remembered because you look at the final score, it's 86-59. Pitt was losing this game trailing in this game, I should say, with 8 minutes or under 8 minutes left in the first half. So this was not like a blowout from start to finish. And it was around that point Blake Hinson just decided we're not doing this. Right. We're not even gonna entertain the idea of this being a close game down the stretch. And I think he went on an 11-3 run on his own, Carter, after his team fell behind. And I know that at one point in time, it was around the 4-minute mark, he had outscored Louisville 22-20 on his own, finished with 27 points, which in the first half, which was 2 shy of his career best. And man, I mean, just what an effort. It was 3-point shooting, but as it was pointed out in the post-game presser, it was more than that. It was driving to the basket. It was making the pass before the pass. And just a stellar effort from a player that has been the best player in the ACC over the last month. I don't really think you can debate it from what he's done at Duke since. He's brought, I mean, and it's not just him. It's the guards. I mean, Federico's played better. Everyone on this team has played better. But we said at the beginning of the year, this team is going to go as far as he takes it. And you look at every game throughout this streak, you can really point at moments where he made the difference. So Blake Hinson is the obvious good. Carter, what are the other good things that came from this one?
I look at the freshman guards. Overall, the assists, 22 assists on 31 made baskets, and Blake even said this team is extremely talented offensively, and when they are hitting the way they are, or they're moving the ball the way they did tonight, it makes them so tough to stop. All 9 of Blake Hinson's three-pointers came off an assist from somebody. Well, I think it was 4 from Jalen Lowe, 3 from Bub Carrington, 2 from Zach Austin. But that's the thing, Noah, is that this team is finding a way to move the ball. And Jeff Capel, we'll get to the other part of this. Jeff Capel said, it wasn't great in the first half, but in the second half, they understood where they were going. You saw there was a plan each time, and it's not necessarily always a written play. It's instinctive, and that's what makes this team very dangerous, is that when their instincts are on and they're feeling it and they got the chemistry between each other, you don't know who to guard, because Blake Hinson can hit his three-pointer. Oh, he can drive to the basket on you, which he's getting much better at doing. But then if you think that Blake Hinson's the full attention, he kicks it out. Bub Carrington hits a 3. Jalen Lowe hits a 3. Ishmael Leggett hits a 3. Zach Austin hits a 3. Or any of those guys drive to the basket. They have so many different ways to beat you, and that is a recipe to being a good team in March.
Just a thing I want to add on the young guards, 13-2 assist-to-turnover ratio for Carrington and Lowe combined. That's 6.5 to 1. I mean, that's insane. That's Virginia level good as far as and they lead the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. That's why I referenced them. We'll get into the bad, and that's kind of what you alluded to there was the start. I mean, like I said, this team was losing until 8 minutes left in the first half. It started off on a 9-0 run. Louisville countered on a 10-0 run. Part of that came from a technical foul. There was a point in this game where I wasn't sure Jeff Capel was going to finish. I thought he was going to get kicked out because he was pissed. And, I mean, seemed to be fine. I don't even think we needed to ask about the technical foul in the postgame because it was, seemed so long ago. But, man, it was not good. early on for Pitt. And, thankfully for them, you do that against a team like this, it's not going to matter. But and they've pretty much avoided those starts throughout this streak. They've had a couple where they were sluggish. But this is the team to do that against. Yeah. What's your bad?
My bad is part of that bad start was what Jeff Capel pointed to as a big reason for it. And whereas Bub Carrington and Jalen Lowe, I think, played good games overall, their struggles in the first half came from, and Jeff Capel pointed this out brilliantly, they were trying to make too many predetermined reads. And what he means by that is that, the player, the design was, there was a ball screen here, so you go off the ball screen and you kind of just go with what the play was designed to be, what you expect to be there. And in basketball, in most sports, but especially in basketball, you cannot just do what you thought was designed, because so many different things can happen. Another team can jump into the right lane, and then you have to alter and you have to be prepared. But that's what you prepare for, is you prepare for, hey, when you drive to the rim, if there's an open lane, great, take the shot. But if there's not, you have a read here and a read there. You have different options each time. And Jeff Capel did not like how especially Jalen nor Bub handled those situations early on, because he felt that they were sticking to those predetermined reads. But in the second half, that went away, and you saw them be able to make better decisions on the floor, be more floor generals. And being a floor general means, yes, have the construct of the play in your mind, understand where what you saw in film applies to the floor, but also be ready in the moment to change that plan or to react differently than what you saw on tape based off of what you're seeing live. And I thought that was a good sign for Pitt that they changed it later.
We'll get into the ugly now. I don't think we need to dig too deep, and I feel bad because I'm pretty sure this was the same ugly the first time these two teams matched up, but it's so bad you can't really ignore it. The ugly's Louisville. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be bad, right? It's another thing to be bad and injured. I mean, they quite literally, Carter, did not have a point guard on their roster tonight. Yep. And it showed. I mean, their ball movement was bad. They had terrible perimeter defense. I mean, 41 points. But it's tough. I got some stats here. Our guy Brooks from the Louisville Courier Journal gave these to us. That's the 12th win, or 12th loss, I should say, by 20 or more points in the Kenny Payne era, and the 30th loss by 10 or more points in the Kenny Payne era. This guy's been here for 2 years. In that span, since Kenny Payne arrived, Blake Hinson scored over 1,000 points, and Louisville has lost 30 times in double digits.
I wonder if he has more ACC wins than Kevin Stallings.
I mean, they won 3 already this year.
That's half the way.
Stallings had 6.
I think he has 6.
I don't know how many. I mean, they beat Clemson last year, and they beat Notre Dame. Yeah, I don't think Stallings. We don't need to look this up. I mean, we're 8 minutes into a post-game recap over a 25-point win. I think we've hit the nail on the head. Carter, any final thoughts as we wrap this one up here?
I thought it was ever present, as Jeff Capel always. One thing Jeff Capel is very good at. That man is always present at knowing what to say in the right moments. I made sure my last question of the press conference was about the passing of lefty Drizel, legendary coach who's coached all across college basketball, also a legend of Duke who played for Duke many decades ago, back in the 50s. And Jeff Capel had some brilliant things to say, talked about how funny this guy was.
4 wins for Stallings.
4 wins for Stallings. So never mind. Kenny Payne's actually a little bit better than Kevin Stallings. Woof. Anyways, but I thought it was amazing the things that Jeff Capel enlightened about Drizel. And this isn't the first time either. Jeff Capel had brilliant things to say about John Chaney, the legendary coach, when he passed away the other year. And that's just been something that's been really special about Jeff, that I think that he not only is doing a good job, a great job as basketball coaches and the programs that he's worked with, but he's also maintained relationships and is able to profess just how important some people have been to the game of basketball and to the world. So shout out to Jeff Capel for another great answer on that. And I tweeted out the full quote if you want to read what he said about a legend like Leslie Drizel. But
I got nothing else. house on this one.
There you go. With that, that's your Pitt post game here from the Petersen Events Center. I'm Chris Carter. He's Noah Hiles. We're of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Read all of our work at post-gazette.com. Find us here for our Tuesday mailbag show that we'll do this week, where we answer your questions on Pitt football and basketball. And we'll also be back for a post-game show Tuesday night when this team takes on Wake Forest in a huge ACC rematch. So we'll talk about that then. And here, you can always find it on the Post-Gazette's podcasting channel. Like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube for all of the daily content that comes out from our Post-Gazette writers. As always, this show is sponsored by Mike's Beer Bar, the best bar in all of Pittsburgh. Over 500 different available beers. 300 of those beers are local. 80 of those local beers available on tap. They have over 20 televisions. Amazing food. Go check out Mike's Beer Bar today. And when you get there, tell them Chris and Noah sent you. Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.